Howdy folks, I'm Keith Bowen. This is Hard Rock University, and this is just a quickie little thing on how to save yourself problems in certain situations. As you can see, it's a little cold today. Now, this is a common type of attachment for a keyed shaft here. There's a collet that's pulled into the actual pulley. These two bolts here, this one and that one, go through an unthreaded hole in the collet to a threaded hole in the pulley and pulls it up against that, and that cinches the collet down on the shaft. Now the problem with these things is getting them off. This gets rusted, there's a lot of dirt, and the way you're supposed to pull these off is these two bolts are in holes. You're supposed to pull these two bolts out, stick them in these two holes, drive them in, and they'll push the pulley off the back of the collet. Sounds great. Problem is those holes are going to tend to be rusted and filled with dirt. These will tend to rust. The shaft will tend to rust. So you very lightly coat the shaft with anti-seize. You liberally coat these bolts with anti-seize, and you throw away the ones that come with it and you replace them with grade 8 for starters, because they'll, get rusted, and then you try and take them out and then they bust and life sucks. These other holes, not only do I have the bolts already in there, that keeps the threads clean, and they're also liberally done with anti-seize. So you can take those two out, just drive those two in, and it comes apart real easily. And the other thing is you've always got a couple of extra bolts if you need them. But that's what I found to be a problem. These things, everything just has a tendency to seize up. Fill all the threaded holes with a bolt, make sure all the bolts are grade 8, and use anti-seize. Liberally on the bolts and just very lightly on the shaft, just to keep it from rusting on. Oh, and Chris, here is that vacuum pump. This is a very high-speed turbine here, and it's Allegiant Technologies Turbo V301 Navigator. Don't know why they call it a Navigator. Vacuum products, and the specs on this rascal are 75 volts AC and 150 watts. There's a model number, although I can't read it here. You might be able to in the video. Can you tell how many hertz that is, Lauren?
Looks like 963.
963 hertz. That's one high-speed motor. But anyhow, that's the information. Chris wanted the specs on that. He thinks he might be able to rebuild it. That little rascal there is like $15,000 new. So if we can rebuild it, we can probably trade it for some lab stuff. Anyhow, so that's it for this week. Not a whole lot getting done except working on that truck. Happy prospecting and keep it safe out there.